Can I keep this someplace here?
Yeah, put it right here. Put it right next to my phone.
Right.
You'll be fine right there.
All right. So I need to put this away, or are we good?
And we'll keep going through it. So I've got it engaged, and I've got it at right here, oil light green off, and now we're going to do the mag check.
Mag check.
So we're at 2,000 RPM. I'm going to turn the magneto off. Watch how little the RPM falls. So we have a plasma electronic ignition system.
Yeah.
That sparks hotter and advances the timing. So we only lost about 70 RPM, and I was a little higher than 2,000, so it was really only about 50. Now I'll turn the plasma off and note a bigger drop. I'm looking to see that it doesn't go below the purple line in 5 seconds. It's stabilized, so it's safe. We'll turn that back on. And now we're really just in our warm-up phase here. We're waiting for the oil temperature. If you look, we did that, we did that, we did that. Altimeter set. We're at 190 feet here in Chehalem. 190 is set. GPS and transponder set.
Chehalem traffic, Skyhawk 078, taking off runway 25, left downwind.
I'll make sure my iPad is connected so we have traffic. This has full ADS-B in and out.
Chehalem traffic, helicopter 2 Kilo Papa, turning left base for an extended final to 25, Chehalem.
All right, IFR instruments not necessary today, so now we're here. So we're looking for oil temperature less than 100, oil temperature more than 100, pressure less than 95. So I just need to wait a little bit longer for the oil temperature to come up.
Okay, oil pressure.
Almost there. And then I want the oil pressure less than 95, because obviously temperature and pressure are correlative because the oil has viscosity, right? So here we go, we're about to be 100. I'm going to roll it up into the green. Notice the governor is off. And I'm going to roll the rotor RPM up to 530. That's our nominal RPM range where we want it to be most of the time. Now I'll check the carb heat. So I'll go carb heat on. Notice it says carb heat manual. The rotor RPM is going to start to fall. My carb heat temperature is going up. And then we have a third carb heat sensor. I'm waiting for a differential air temperature to indicate, which is going to be indicated by a brick. Once that brick comes on, I know the carburetor heat auto system is working perfectly. Lost about, I don't know, 8, 9 RPM there, not too bad. The sample's about every 20 seconds. There's the brick. So now I go back to cold. But now I've turned the carb heat off completely. RPM is rising, still manual. Carb heat temp is falling, and the brick should go away in just a second. And it goes away. We'll go back to auto. Okay, now I'm waiting for one more thing, which is my oil temp to go up, but I'm going to check the Sprag clutch. So big under grip, I'm going to roll the throttle off. Whoop. Needle split. Low rotor RPM works.
So the blue is the engine and the big one is the rotor RPM?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then it worked. Everything was perfect, so I'm going to roll it back up to 2,000, which is kind of our warm-up setting. And then you'll look, it says oil temp 85 for takeoff. We got that. I want oil temp 140 to be able to pull 5-minute power. So I'm not too worried about 5-minute power right now for our purposes. We're not coming in and out of a confined area or anything. So I'm going to turn the governor on. It's on the end of the collective here. And watch. I don't have to touch anything.
Automatically kicks in.
Just automatically takes over, and it's not like the R22 where you have to modulate it.
Yeah, you gotta roll it up on the 22. Roll it up until about 80%. Then it kicks in at about 80.
Yeah. All right, so frictions are off, seatbelts are set, our doors are closed and locked. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alrighty, so I'm going to preload some right pedal here. A little bit of aft and back sight, little aft right cyclic. Eyes are up on the horizon.
Downwind for 25.
Okay, we got 2,000 RPM, good. Oil pressure is less than 95, perfect. Gonna check our ignition systems. Plasma identified, plasma coming off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there at the bottom of, no more than 300, we got to about 1710. Go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There.
What are the parameters now? It can't be...
No more than 300 RPM in 5 seconds.
1 Charlie Alpha, right turn to the east, last call sportsman.
Okay, magneto identified, magneto coming off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back on. That one's 100 RPM in 5 seconds. Okay, coming up to 420 to 450. For warm up. We're already within our warm up range. We'll just sit here and we can check our altimeter. We know our field elevation, since we don't have a weather reporting station here, we know our field elevation is 190. So we'll just utilize that for our altimeter setting. Go 3007. GPS, runway 07, good. Compass and heading, same, that's also our compass. We don't have an analog compass on. We're not flying IFR, so I'm not worried about the instrument condition. Oil temp greater than 100, good. And pressure less than 95, good. Coming up to 530. Okay. Checking our carburetor, anti-icing, carburetor hot. Carburetor heat, indication manual. Our rotor speed should be decaying because we're getting hot air, so it's not going to be as, we're not going to get as good a performance. And our carburetor temperature should be increasing. There we go. Now we're waiting for a little yellow carburetor heat brick. There's our little heat brick. Going back to auto, you'll see a little white arrow. Wait for that to go away. And back to cold. Getting our carburetor heat manual indication. Carburetor temperature should be decreasing. And our rotor speed should increase. And we're waiting for our little yellow heat brick to go away. There we go. Rotor speed's increasing. Temperature's decreasing. Back to auto. Good. Okay. Roll off throttle to idle, and we're checking to make sure that our needle's split and that our engine RPM sits about 12 to 1300. Big underhand grip, rolling that throttle thumb down. There's the needle split, sitting about 1240. There's our low rotor RPM horn. Mute. Pulling our throttle back up, just below 400. Cool. Make sure that that's safely stowed. With the doors off, these tend to fly out of here if they're not really stowed in there. Okay, ignition's on. Mixture full, rich at sea level. Good, 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 good. Caution warning lights out except for our governor. Go ahead and turn our governor on. We'll roll down just below 400. Governor engages at 400. There we go. Governor light off. Governor's on, but not engaged yet because we're not at 400. Altimeter is set. Good. It's looking good. 17 gallons on board. T's and P's in the green. Instrument switch is on. There we go. Comms set, and we have we're just staying local, so we don't need a flight plan. Cool. Looking good. We'll roll our throttle up. That's already on. Rolling throttle up to 400, and the governor should take it at 400. There we go. Guard throttle to make sure that we don't overspeed. Should sit about 530. Beautiful. All right, feel free to follow along on the pedals and on the cyclic and on the collective. Okay, so you're familiar with the three-way exchange of flight controls, right?
You have the controls, I have the controls.
I have the controls, right? So if you want the controls, say, you can ask or you can say my flight controls, and I'll say your flight controls, then you confirm your flight controls, right? In this case, I have the flight controls, you'll confirm.
You have the controls.
I have the flight controls. Cool. So I confirm that I am in charge of the aircraft. At all times, there should be one person who is clear and defined that they are in control of the aircraft, okay?
Decrease and the RPMs increase. Waiting for the brick to disappear.
Chehalam traffic, Apache 1334 Papa, taking off runway 07, right cross from departure to the south, Chehalam traffic.
There it goes, disappeared. Copy, back to auto. The next on the list is a roll off the throttle, the idle, checking for a needle split. We're looking for the sprite clutch. Should we're making sure that the engine, the engine and the rotor can separate, can operate independently of each other.
Yep, so we're making sure that the rotor keeps spinning even if the engine decreases in RPM. So big underhand grip on the throttle. Make sure you don't pull up on the collective and just roll your thumb down.
Roll your thumb down.
All the way to the stop, yep. There you go.
And there we go, there's a separation.
Engine sitting about 1400 unloaded. Good needle split. We heard the low rotor horn.
So we're gonna mute the bark.
Yep. There you go, and it goes back to main.
Okay, next is throttle, governor on. Governor light should come out, and then I'm going to roll the throttle up to 400.
Cross from departure, runway 07, Chehalam.
Roll the, to the, for the,
Correction, left downwind departure, runway 07.
RPMs up to 400, and the governor should take over from there.
Okay, governor coming on. There you
Governor
go.
light off. Throttle up to 400. Kind of guard it too, make sure it doesn't take off. We're on a over speed.
There you go.
Okay. Pressure good. Oil pressure, oil good. Boom.
Yep, so final sweep, right? Both ignitions on, mixture full, rich, rotor brake stowed, caution and warning lights out, altimeter set, instruments looking good. T's and P's in the green, 17 gallons on board. Good, good, good. Mute, no warning indications. We got a carbon monoxide warning, but that's okay. We're going to get on the go. Lights on, comm set, right? 1229 for Chehalam. Right, there's our comm setting. 123 is McMinnville. We'll stay with 1229 and that's fine.
1229 for Chehalam.
Yep. And we got our map in the mode that we want for situational awareness. All right. Make sure no circuit breakers popped on startup. Cool.
Doors closed, trim string, safety string attached.
Safety string attached. Cool. All right. Friction off. All right, you got the flight controls. I'm going to be on with you.
My controls.
You got them, and I'm on with you, okay?
All right.
We're just going to practice a nice low pickup, okay?
Go ahead and set my stuff up here then. Degrees, yes, accurate. Okay, we're good. Oh, fuel.
That's all right. I'm just doing it real quick.
Carb heat, going hot. Manual indication.
Nope.
Oh, rotor speed 420.
Nope.
424.
We're bringing it up to 420. You are correct. We would bring it up to 420 to 450 to get this up to 100, but we're greater than 100 now. Now what are we doing? Oil temp and pressure. Temperature greater
rotor
than 100.
speed 530.
There we go.
Green light on. Good enough. Now carb heat hot. Manual indication. Carb heat increasing. Rotor speed should be decreasing. Yellow brick. Here it is. Auto. Carb heat's in motion. Carb heat going cold. Manual indication. Carb temperature decreasing. Rotor speed in. Back to auto. Pull off the throttle to idle. Needle split. 1001, 1002, 1003. Is.
Oh, all the way down. Just leave it. All the way down. You put it back up. On our bark back up, just go down. That's it.
All right, doors closed. Bolts fastened.
Check and check.
Hey, how close are you all to picking up? You guys are ahead of us. Copy.
All right.
Controls.
Yep, governor on.
All right. Come on, Dan, get with it. Governor on.
There we go.
Go. Yep. Good. Good. Feel good. Peace. Green. Lights. Here. Nav lights on.
Good.
Landing lights.
We can go ahead and turn those on. It's kind of an overcast day.
Hey,
We got our our comms and our nav set. Good. All right, let's do your checklist. Okay. My flight control, so I'm going to pick us up out of here just because.
Which 3 green bark. Pressure all. Prime away from me. Two. Times. Just going down though I can't with one swoop. Go up, I can go up. Yeah, I can. Okay. Got throttle set to 4. Quarter brake check. Good. Mag and plasma. Clear right. Start light on, off, roll off the throttle. Throttle up a little bit. Pumping in there. Alternator light off. Rotor engaged and locked. Motor engine brake sync. Clutch light off. Roll up to 2,000 RPM. Works. All right, mag off in 5 seconds. Mag for plasma off 5 seconds. Plasma identified on the right, coming off. Wait a minute, that thing's rolling down again.
That's all right. Just know where it is when you start.
It's off 1001, 1002, 1003. 1004, 1005. $17.90. Less than 300 and about 250. Set. Mag off 5, mag identified on the left, coming off, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. About 70, 80 drop. Motor speed up to 420.
All right.
.420. Altimeter set. 1700. Fuel on board. First of all, the nav, our update is
Yep, GPS is up to date.
1700. Okay. So fuel.
Watch your RPM.
Shale traffic Skyhawk 20033 taxiing apron, hold short, Shale.
Yeah, why does it keep wanting to get away from me?
Because it's warming up.
Anyways, fuel on board. 18 gallons.
We also might be getting a little bit of turbulence from 366, increasing our rotor RPM. But you got to make sure that you're paying attention to everything, right? We can never only pay attention to one thing. That's called fixation.
Everything in there looks good. Next, gonna roll up. Gotta wait for a green light over here. Still need a green light over here.
How are we going to get a green light over there?
366
pressure
Alpha
needs to
Alpha,
be
not Bravo.
greater than 100, and the pressure needs to be less than 95.
Okay, do we
Shale
have both
traffic
of those things?
366.
Yeah,
Close
both
enough,
of those.
Bravo.
Okay,
Shale.
so what do we do now?
Going to roll up to 530.
There we go. Now when we roll
Hey,
up to
Weston, we're
530.
picking up next to you.
Go ahead.
Okay, I thought before you're supposed to. Okay, probably a stupid question, but I thought it was supposed to be green light over here before you roll it up to 530.
Why would what is this?
That's for the rotor speed.
Yep. So if we have a green light here, what is that indicating? What is this yellow light indicating?
Low, the rotor speed is low.
Yep. So if we have a green light here, what is that indicating?
Our rotor speed is good in the green.
Exactly. So how would we have a green light here if our rotor speed is down here?
All right. Like I said, stupid question.
Okay, so now we have a blinking yellow light indicating that we're in the low yellow arc, right?
Right.
Now once we get up above 515, now we have a green light, right? 515 to 540, green rotor RPM.
Stay on Traverse, helicopter 366, gonna back taxi onto the south runway. Shale.
$525. Works for me. Next on the list, Carpi hot. Carpi going hot. Carb heat manual indication. Carb heat increasing, rotor speed decreasing. Waiting for the yellow brick. Yellow brick. Okay, this is rolling back down below out of the green arc.
You guys waiting for us?
Should I try to?
Nope.
033, are you guys
What
waiting to
happens
get
when
on
we
the
put it
runway?
into hot?
Yes. No, I can't hear you. Affirmative.
I put in. Can you say your question again?
What happens to our performance
Yeah, we're ready
when
to
we
get out of here.
put the carb heat
All right,
into
we're
hot?
clear the runway at South Grass. We'll set down for you. Thank you.
Decreases.
Yep.
20033.
Whenever we're pulling in hot air, right? Hot air is much less dense. There's a lot less oxygen to use. So our rotor, we're going to get a hot indication, our manual indication. Our carb temp's going to increase, and our rotor speed is going to decrease, right? So if we know that our rotor speed is going to decrease whenever we have this in hot, the opposite is going to happen in cold. So we don't want to roll it up right now because then when we go to cold, it's going to overspeed.
Trying to go back to auto now.
Yep.
We got 4 bricks over there. Okay. Now carb heat going cold. Carb temperature should be increasing. Rotor speed should be increasing now.
Look at that. See, now we're back in the green.
Performance increases.
Yep.
Now I'm going to wait for those bricks to go away. Okay, carb heat back to auto. I'm going to roll the throttle to idle, watch for the needle split. I'm going to make sure I bark the mute. 1001, 1002, 1003, needle split, mute.
So, good job rolling it off in one motion, but you pulled up on the collective right there. Did you feel that? So we got to be very careful about not pulling up on the collective whenever we roll it off.
Doors closed. Belts fastened. Governor,
What does that mean?
go. Carbon oxygen or carbon?
Carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide?
What does that mean?
I don't remember.
So carbon monoxide is a gas that essentially takes the place of oxygen on our hemoglobin in our blood, okay? It comes from the exhaust, and it can cause hypoxia. So if that comes on, we need to make sure that this is off, our cabin heat is off, because potentially our heater could have split and is now venting exhaust in through the vents, so we make sure that's off and we vent our doors to make sure we have fresh air. So crack your door open. Put your strings on and crack your door open. Okay, what now?
How do we get rid of it then?
We don't. Fresh air.
Okay, next on the list is governor off. Governor's off. Roll up to 400. Jack to rotor speed in the green. Governor should take over at 400. Goes.
There we go, and we're watching our speed, right? We got to make sure the governor catches it before it overspeeds. It's good now. It's sitting nominal.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a green light over there on the bark.
No, you won't see a green light on the bark because we have it in auto, right? We muted it. If we put it in backup, we'll have the green light. But as we sit normally, in main, there should be no light.
Okay, check rotor speed in the green. Rotor speed's in the green. All right, final check. Mixture fuel, it's on. GPS mode, we got a good heading there. Fuel looks good. T's and P's in the green. Lights. Cab light on. Probably don't need to worry about the landing light. No warning lights. Did I miss anything?
You tell me. You go by the checklist? You go step by step by the checklist and you're paying attention to everything, you shouldn't miss anything.
Friction's off. Runway verified correct. Comms okay.
Our comms okay?
Nope. Now it is 122.9.
All right.
2.9. Performance calculation, blah, blah. That's on pickup, isn't it? To make sure that you make an observation of the power when we pick up.
Okay.
Okay, that's everything.